You are worsening the problem.
Maybe in that process, you'll be able to regulate a good number, and maybe the few will do the wrong thing. Yes, Kofi, hold on.
Okay.
Kofi, what are you thinking as you hear this chilling story and the bravado that we seem to become aware of the operators and how they go about it, to the extent that a whole RecSec and a task force will go to a place and retreat for fear that these people will overpower them?
Well, Samson, good morning to you and good morning to Gary and Erastus. And I empathize with you in the situation that you and your colleagues really were subjected to. It's really, aside the risk of it, of possibly losing your lives, is dehumanizing.
The trauma.
And exactly, the trauma of it. But you see, I will not accept this proposition about partisan comments in relation to Galamsey Act as a basis for which an elected authority, a mandated authority with power, cannot deal with the situation. I will not. Why? We're mere
people care about anything apart from votes.
We're mere demonstrators who were demonstrating against the ill, creating awareness, not hacked and dumped in the cells and further remanded for many days. Was there no political comments on that? Was there no political comments on that? But they did it. They had the will to do it. What is stopping the person with authority from taking steps to declare forest reserves, water bodies, and such areas, declaring a state of emergency?
But Gary is talking about a fact that you cannot deny. And we are quick to play it about recent matters, and we don't go a little back. You see it show, even in some research papers, when Mahama was campaigning to retain power, and he was talking about regulating the process. Akufo-Addo was speaking just like Mahama also began to speak when Akufo-Addo was also saying, when we come, we will try and regulate the process. So the two of you, like they say, Dukadaya.
Samson, I don't think John Dramani Mahama has shifted his position as far as small-scale mining or Galamsey or illegal activities is concerned. He's been very consistent. He's been very consistent as he was in 2016 and now. The only other addition he talked about was the fact that when you lock up the little flies and leave the key financiers, you don't trace to deal with them, there will be many more flies to be picked by these financiers, those who are benefiting from the destruction of our water bodies. You need to put a system in place that tackles the roots. Those who buy the excavators, those who buy the pickups, those who buy the pump actions, those who buy the rifles. Because as for the young persons to be put in the forest and in our water bodies, you would always find them. Arrest 1,000 today, you will get 2,000 who will be willing to move in there. So you don't solve the problem by such means. Where is the difficulty in declaring those areas as becoming under an emergency situation? So that when anyone is walking there, the person knows that even by my movement towards that place, there is a certain declaration that anyone who spots me, anyone who sees me, can take some action. But if it remains that you send a platoon there, they go and burn champagnes. Some of them get burnt even in the water bodies. And so you are not really burning the destructive part of the champagne. When you burn what we see on the surface, you haven't done anything. Those ones are just platforms that are built right there. The real body that is doing harm to the water body is down there, and you are not able to burn that part. But when you declare a state of emergency in such areas, whether there is a permanent military presence there or security presence there, let me use security and not just say military, security presence there or not, there's a certain understanding that water bodies, forest reserves, the state of emergency is being declared. So you step there at your peril. But until you do that, and I don't see the difficulty, I don't see the president has taken steps and has brought anything to Parliament for Parliament to pass to enable him effect, and Parliament have refused. You have not brought anything before.
You guys have joined the public to complain when you pass this law that allows mining in forest reserves. It was passed by Parliament.
You know, it was. I don't hold brief for scientists, but you know that Parliament works with committees. We've worked with Mines and Energy Committee.
Right.
We've worked with Lands and Natural Resource Committee that have dealt with issues to do with mining. This very LI that has become troubling was smuggled through EPA, through the committee responsible for environment. And so the kind of attention, focus
we'll come to talk about that because Okujeto Ablakwa, Alhassan Suhini, and Francis Xavier Sosu have started a process for a private members' bill to revoke to cancel that provision that allows for mining in forest reserve. But I'm going to ask the question whether that is not just for populist purposes, because I thought we knew that organized labor, when they took the decision that they would not strike, it was because they had been given the assurance that the state was going to take steps, and that the state had actually started what it's required to change that law. So why are they still doing this? I said we'll come to that. I will come to that. Let Erasmus take